Let me start with this. You didn't land here by accident. Something deep inside you led you to this moment, to these words. Maybe you've always felt a little different, like you don't quite fit into the mold society expects. Maybe there's been a quiet voice in the back of your mind, a feeling you can't shake, telling you that there's more to your story than what meets the eye. And you're right. You've gone through life feeling like an outsider at times, watching the world around you focus on the ordinary, while you've always searched for something deeper. That's because you're not like everyone else. You are different. You are a chosen one. And whether you realize it yet or not, you are also a spiritual alchemist, someone with the power to transform their reality from the inside out. Now, let me ask you something. How many times have you wondered why your path seems harder than most? Why the struggles, the setbacks, the heartbreaks seem to follow you more than others? Why you're the one who keeps getting tested? What if I told you that none of it is random? That every challenge, every painful moment was actually shaping you into the person you were meant to become? That's the truth. Alchemy isn't just about turning metal into gold. It's about transformation. The lead in your life isn't something outside of you. It's the weight you carry, the pain, the fear, the doubt, the anger. And spiritual alchemy is the process of turning that heavy, dense energy into something greater, into wisdom, strength, and purpose. And here's the thing, you've been doing this all along, whether you were aware of it or not. Think about it. Every time you've been knocked down but still found a way to rise. Every time you faced your fears instead of running from them. Every time you chose love instead of hate, forgiveness instead of resentment. You've been transforming darkness into light, turning pain into power. That's what makes you different. Because not everyone can do this. Some people stay stuck in their suffering, trapped in negativity, unable to break free. But not you. Even when the weight of the world feels unbearable, you keep pushing forward. That's not just strength, it's your purpose. But let me ask you something else. Have you truly stepped into that purpose? Or are you still waiting, still doubting yourself, still hoping that someone else will come along and tell you who you are? Because here's the truth, no one else can define you. No one else can walk this path for you. This is yours to claim. And it starts with awareness. Take a moment. Think about your life. The struggles, the lessons, the moments that changed you. What have they taught you? How have they shaped you? And most importantly, how can you use that wisdom to help others? Because being a chosen one isn't just about personal transformation. It's about taking what you've learned and using it to light the way for others. To be a source of hope in a world that often feels lost. And I know that sounds like a heavy responsibility, but you're not alone in this. There are millions of others waking up to their true power, stepping into their roles as spiritual alchemists. And together, we are creating a ripple effect that is changing the world. But let's be real, this journey isn't easy. It takes courage. It takes patience. It takes a willingness to face the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. And that's where most people get stuck. They see their own darkness and think it means they're broken, that they're unworthy. But the truth is, your darkness is just as important as your light. Without challenges, there is no growth. Without the struggle, there is no transformation. Without the lead, there is no gold. So ask yourself, what have you been avoiding? What emotions have you been suppressing? What stories have you been telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of? And are you willing to let them go? Because that's what true transformation is about. It's about releasing what no longer serves you to make space for something greater. It's about trusting the process, even when it's messy, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Because sometimes, things have to fall apart before they can come together. And here's the most important part. You don't have to do this perfectly. You don't have to have all the answers. This isn't about reaching some final destination. Spiritual alchemy is a journey, a continuous process of growth and evolution. And as long as you're willing to take the first step, as long as you're willing to show up for yourself, you're already succeeding. Every small change, every moment of self-awareness, every act of kindness, it all matters. Even if it doesn't seem like much at first, all these little choices add up. They shape you. They shape the world around you. But before we go any further, let me ask you something. If you truly believed in your own power, if you fully embraced your role as a spiritual alchemist, what kind of life would you create? What kind of world would you help build? And most importantly, what's stopping you from starting right now? Let's dig deeper, because this is where things get real. Every challenge you faced, every heartbreak, every loss, every time you doubted your own worth, it wasn't random. It wasn't meaningless. It was all part of something bigger. A blueprint, a hidden design, shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. I know that's a tough idea to accept, especially when you think back to the darkest moments of your life. But hear me out. There is no wasted pain. Every struggle, every setback has played a role in your growth, even if you can't see it yet. Life doesn't hand you wisdom for free. It teaches you through experience, through contrast, through the moments that stretch you, push you, and force you to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. Because that's when you discover what you're truly made of. Think about it. Would you even understand courage if you had never faced fear? Would you truly appreciate love if you had never felt loss? Would light mean anything to you if you had never walked through darkness? That's the paradox of life. The things that break us are the same things that build us. And as a spiritual alchemist, your role is to take those experiences and transform them into something powerful. But here's the catch. The gold you're searching for isn't something external. It's not about money, status, or validation from others. The real gold is you. It's the wisdom you gain, the strength you build, the deeper understanding of who you are and why you're here. And once you embrace this, you start to see that nothing in your life has been a mistake. Even the choices you regret, the moments you wish you could erase, they were all part of the process. So let me ask you, when you look back at the hardest moments of your life, can you see how they shaped you? Can you see how they forced you to grow in ways you never would have otherwise? Maybe you went through a toxic relationship that taught you how to set boundaries. Maybe you lost a job, and that forced you to discover your true passion. Maybe a health crisis woke you up to the importance of self-care. Whatever it wasn't just a random event. It was a wake-up call, a lesson, a turning point on your journey to mastery. But here's the problem. Most people don't see it that way. They get stuck in their pain. They replay the story of what happened to them without ever asking what it was trying to teach them. They ask, why me? Instead of what can I learn from this? And that's the shift you need to make, because the moment you stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances and start seeing yourself as a co-creator of your reality, everything changes. That's when you step into your true power. That's when you start living as the spiritual alchemist you were always meant to be. Now let's go even deeper. Have you ever noticed how certain patterns keep repeating in your life? The same kind of relationships, the same financial struggles, the same feelings of self-doubt? It's like you're stuck in a loop, facing the same lessons over and over again. That's not a coincidence. Those patterns are messages. They're life's way of getting your attention, pointing you toward the areas that need healing and transformation. And until you face them, until you do the work to break the cycle, they'll keep showing up. Not to punish you, but to push you forward. So let me ask you, what patterns have been repeating in your life? What lessons have you been avoiding? And are you finally ready to face them? Because here's the truth. You can't change what you refuse to acknowledge. You can't turn lead into gold if you're not willing to look at the lead first. And I get it. It's hard. It takes courage to confront the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. But that's where real transformation happens. That's where you find the gold. Now let's talk about mastery. Mastery isn't about being perfect. It's not about having all the answers or never making mistakes. Mastery is about resilience. It's about showing up for yourself, even when it's hard. It's about trusting the process, even when you don't fully understand it. And right now, in this very moment, you have a choice. You can keep living the same patterns, stuck in the same cycles, or you can decide right now to start transforming your life. So, what's it going to be? Unlocking your power as a spiritual alchemist. And most importantly, this journey isn't just about you. It's about what you do with it. How you use your experiences to help others. Because as someone who has been through trials, who has faced struggles, you now hold something priceless, wisdom. And wisdom isn't meant to be kept to yourself. Think about the leaders, the visionaries, the healers who inspire you. They didn't get to where they are by accident. They weren't just handed their purpose. They walked through their own darkness. They faced their own doubts. But instead of letting those experiences define them, they turned them into fuel. And that's exactly what you are being called to do. Your challenges were never meant to break you. They were meant to shape you, to refine you. They've given you the tools, the understanding, and the strength to fulfill your mission. But here's the thing, you have to choose it. You have to decide that you're done letting your past hold you back. You have to decide that you're ready to step into your power, to embrace your role as a spiritual alchemist. And that shift starts with one simple but powerful change. How you see your struggles. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? How can I use this to grow? How can I use this to help others? A practical exercise for transformation. Let's make this real. Think of a challenge you're facing right now. Maybe it's a tough relationship, financial stress, or a health issue. Now, instead of focusing on how unfair or frustrating it is, shift your perspective. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? What part of myself is it asking me to heal or strengthen? How can I use this experience to become a better version of myself? Write it down. Reflect on it. Then take one small step toward transformation. Maybe that means setting a boundary with someone who takes advantage of you. Maybe it means asking for help instead of trying to do everything alone. Maybe it's as simple as shifting how you think about the situation. This isn't about fixing everything overnight. It's about taking one step at a time, trusting that each step is moving you toward the person you're meant to be. Because every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you choose love over fear, every time you choose to see the gold in the lead, you're not just transforming yourself, you're transforming the world around you. When you heal, you create a ripple effect. And whether you realize it or not, that ripple inspires others to do the same. So ask yourself, what kind of ripple effect do I want to create? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? And most importantly, what's one step I can take today to start living as the spiritual alchemist I truly am? Awakening to your power. Now that you're beginning to see how your challenges are part of something greater, let's talk about the next step, awakening to your power. Because knowing you have the ability to transform your life is one thing. Actually, living that truth is something else entirely. It requires action. It requires intention. It requires you to step into your role as a creator of your own reality, instead of just reacting to whatever life throws at you. And the truth is, you've had this power all along. You just haven't been fully aware of it. Let me ask you something. How often do you feel like life is just happening to you? Like you're at the mercy of your circumstances, waiting for something outside of yourself to change so you can finally be happy, at peace, or fulfilled? If you felt that way, you're not alone. Most people go through life on autopilot, unaware that they have the power to shift their reality from the inside out. The secret to changing your reality. Here's the secret. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The way you think, the way you feel, the beliefs you hold deep inside, they all create the reality you experience. Your energy, your mindset, and your emotions act like a magnet, pulling in experiences that match them. This is why the same patterns keep showing up in your life. The same types of relationships, the same financial struggles, the same feelings of self-doubt. Because on some level, you're still aligned with them. You're still carrying the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that attract those experiences. But the moment you shift your frequency, when you start vibrating at a higher level, you begin to attract new experiences, new opportunities, new relationships. So how do you change your frequency? How do you harness your inner alchemist and start creating the life you truly desire? Step 1. Awareness. You can't change what you're not aware of. So the first step is becoming conscious of the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that are shaping your reality. Ask yourself, what stories have I been telling myself about who I am and what I'm capable of? What emotions have I been holding on to that are keeping me stuck? What limiting beliefs are playing in the background of my mind? Because the truth is, you are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not at the mercy of life. You are the alchemist. And the moment you decide to take ownership of your energy, your thoughts, and your emotions, everything starts to shift. So what's one thought, one belief, or one emotion you can shift right now to step into the reality you want to create? Because your transformation doesn't start someday. It starts today. Breaking free from limiting beliefs, fear, anger, guilt, shame. How often do these emotions shape the way you see yourself, the way you move through life, the way you interact with the world? The truth is, the thoughts and emotions you carry, whether you're aware of them or not, are shaping your reality every single day. They influence your choices, your actions, and the way you show up in the world. So let's do something powerful. Let's bring those hidden beliefs to the surface and transform them. A simple yet powerful exercise. Grab a piece of paper and divide it into 2 columns. In the first column, write down every limiting belief you have about yourself and your life. Be completely honest. No filter, no holding back. Maybe you believe you're not good enough, that success is always out of reach, that love only leads to pain, that happiness is something other people get to have, but not you. Whatever it is, write it down. Now, in the second column, write down the opposite of each belief. If you wrote I'm not good enough, replace it with I am more than enough. If you wrote success is hard to achieve, rewrite it as success flows to me with ease. If you wrote love always ends in heartbreak, replace it with I am worthy of deep, fulfilling love. These new beliefs are your gold. They are the higher truths you are working to embody. But here's the catch. Simply writing them down isn't enough. You have to feel them. You have to embody them. You have to live them. This is where the real alchemy happens, when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you want to create. And that takes practice. How to make these new beliefs stick. Choose one belief you want to shift. Let's say you want to replace I'm not good enough with I am worthy of love and success. Every morning when you wake up, take a few moments to repeat this affirmation to yourself. But don't just say the words, feel them. Close your eyes and imagine what it would feel like to truly believe you are worthy. How would you act? How would you speak? How would you carry yourself if you knew this belief was true? Picture yourself living a life where this belief is your reality. Feel it in your body. Let it sink in. The more you practice this, the more you rewire your subconscious mind. And over time, this new belief won't just be something you say, it will become a part of who you are. The real challenge of spiritual alchemy. But let me ask you something deeper. Are you willing to let go of who you've been to become who you're meant to be? Because that's the real challenge of transformation. It's not just about adding something new to your life. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you. Letting go of fear. Letting go of self-doubt. Letting go of the conditioning that has held you back for so long. And that can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like losing a part of yourself. But the truth is, you're not losing anything real. You're shedding the illusions, the old stories, the false limitations that have kept you small. You're not alone in this journey. And here's something important to remember, you don't have to do this alone. The universe is always supporting you, even when it doesn't feel like it. Every synchronicity, every unexpected opportunity, every intuitive nudge is a sign that you are being guided. But here's the key. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to trust. And you have to be willing to take action. Even when you're scared. Even when you don't know how things will turn out. Even when every part of you wants to stay in your comfort zone. The door to your future is right in front of you. Imagine you're standing in front of a locked door. On the other side of that door is the life you've always dreamed of. You have the key in your hand, but you're afraid to use it. Why? Because you don't know what's on the other side. What if it's not what I expected? What if I'm not ready? What if I fail? These fears keep so many people stuck, standing in front of the door, never opening it. But here's the truth. The only way to know what's on the other side is to step through it. To trust that whatever happens, you'll be okay. To believe that the universe wouldn't bring you this far just to abandon you. The question that changes everything. So let me ask you, what door are you standing in front of right now? What dream, what opportunity, what next step have you been avoiding because of fear? And what would happen if you chose to open that door? If you chose to trust yourself, to trust the process, to trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Because you are. Even if life feels messy right now, even if you don't have all the answers, every step you've taken, every choice you've made has brought you to this moment. And this moment is your chance to choose differently, to choose growth over fear, to choose love over doubt, to choose to believe in yourself, even when it's hard. Because the life you want isn't waiting for someday. It's waiting for you to say yes today. Awakening to your power. Choosing to awaken to your power isn't just a single decision. It's a way of life. It's about stepping into who you truly are and living as the spiritual alchemist you were always meant to be. And as you move forward, keep this in mind. Transformation isn't something that happens once. It's not a single breakthrough or one big moment of clarity. It's a lifelong journey. Every single day, you have a choice. You can stay in the familiar, in the comfort zone of who you've always been. Or you can step into the unknown, the space where your true potential exists, the place where growth happens. The choice is yours, the ripple effect of your transformation. Let's bring everything together. You've come this far, and now it's time to recognize the bigger picture of your journey as a spiritual alchemist. Because this isn't just about you. Your transformation doesn't happen in isolation. It creates ripples, waves of change that touch everything and everyone around you. When you heal, you inspire healing in others. When you grow, you show others that growth is possible. When you step into your power, you give others permission to do the same. Your light becomes a catalyst, a spark that ignites change in the world. And this, more than anything, is why your journey matters. The power of your influence. Think about it. How many times have you been inspired by someone else's courage? How many times has someone's story of overcoming adversity given you hope? That's the ripple effect. And whether you realize it or not, you're already creating it. Every time you choose kindness over judgment, every time you choose love over fear, every time you choose authenticity over pretending to be someone you're not, you plant seeds in the hearts of those around you. Seeds that might take days, weeks, or even years to grow, but they will grow. What legacy will you leave? Now, let me ask you something important. What kind of legacy do you want to leave in this world? Because your life, your energy, your presence matters. Even in the smallest moments, you are shaping the world around you. The way you treat others, the way you respond to challenges, the way you show up for yourself. It all creates ripples. And those ripples don't just impact the people you see every day. They extend further than you can imagine, reaching people you may never meet in ways you may never fully understand. Becoming a beacon for others. Here's the truth. When you transform your pain into wisdom, when you turn your fear into love, when you use your struggles as fuel for growth, you become a beacon of possibility. You show others what's possible for them too. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be perfect. What matters is that you show up as you, that you live in alignment with your truth. Because authenticity is magnetic. It's what draws people to you. It's what makes others stop and take a deeper look at their own lives. It's what inspires them to start their own journey of transformation. The smallest moments create the biggest ripples. But here's something even more powerful to remember. Your ripple effect doesn't come from grand gestures. It's not about huge accomplishments or world-changing events. It happens in the small moments. In the way you smile at a stranger. In the patience you show when things don't go as planned. In the love you pour into your relationships. In the way you choose to be present, to be real, to simply be you. And as you continue to grow, as you continue to embrace the spiritual alchemist within you, that ripple effect will only get stronger. So here's my final question for you. If you truly embrace the power of your ripple effect, how would you live differently? What would you do today, tomorrow, and every day after that to create the kind of world you want to see? Because here's the truth. It starts with you. When you change, the world changes with you. You are the alchemist. You are the ripple. You are the change. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for choosing growth. The world needs your light. Go shine it.